Hey everybody, welcome back to Andy's Attic. I'm obviously Andy. I appreciate you stopping by to watch another episode. I'm going to show you a collection of beer cans that I have. I'll explain during the video about those cans. And I'll also show you a card at the end that the camera's just not going to do it justice. Alright, with that being said, I want to move on to two shout outs this week. I would like to first shout out Mr. John Mangini at the Mangini Collection. He actually gave me a shout out. Wasn't necessary. There's these books that he's collecting, and I had one laying around for a while, and I just thought it would fit well into his collection. I appreciate the shout out, John. The next channel I'd like to shout out is at Vintage Cards Steve 8582. He has 697 subs, and we've been chatting a little bit in comments, and he's been giving me some advice and feedbacks. I really enjoy his channel. He doesn't focus like most channels on, the big stars, the big name players, Hall of Famers, although I'm sure he has some. He gives you some insight on certain players from back, vintage players. And I enjoy learning some of the stuff on these vintage, if you want to call them semi-stars or commons. I really enjoy that because you don't hear too much about those guys compared to all the other name players. All right. I'm wearing a Steelers helmet today. I'm thinking it might have been Ben Franklin's, because it says, it says Franklin on it. So I'm thinking maybe Ben Franklin. And for authenticity purposes, I also have, it's the key. I'm pretty sure this is the one that was tied to the string, to the kite, when he discovered electricity. So that makes it authentic. So if anybody is interested, I'm going to put this helmet up and the key up for auction for like $1 million. No, I'm only kidding. I'm going to get this thing off my head since it's muffling my ears and I can barely hear myself talk. So anyway, that's that. And let's turn this camera around and check out what I got this week. Okay, we have 5 Pittsburgh Steelers Iron City beer cans here. I got these when I was young, actually. I was probably between the ages of 5 and 10. My grandfather used to drink Iron City beer. It was made by the Iron City Brewing Company, which originated in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 1861, which actually makes it 164 years old. It was named after the city, which was known as the Iron City, because of many of the iron foundries that were in Pittsburgh. One of the first breweries to produce lager beer. In 1899, they merged with other local brewing companies to form the Pittsburgh Brewing Company. During Prohibition, Pittsburgh Brewing Company produced soft drinks, ice cream, and low-alcohol beer. Prohibition ended in 1933 with the passing of the 21st Amendment. And for those of you that don't know the 21st Amendment, it repealed the 18th Amendment, and that's what ended the Prohibition, because it 18th Amendment, there was no alcohol whatsoever prohibited in the United States. They continued to produce Iron City beer as the Pittsburgh Brewing Company. The backstory on my grandfather and my family, actually, my grandfather was the one that drank the Iron City beer, but I grew up in a family of homing pigeon flyers, kind of like the Arena Boys. I've watched their channel a couple times. I'm not sure where exactly they're from, but my family pretty much did the same thing up till me. I'm the one that broke the cycle. I was more into sports and collectibles and spending my money on that than racing homing pigeons. My dad, my uncle, my grandfather, his brothers, all of them raced homing pigeons. They had a club where they would go to figure out like the average speeds and who won the race and stuff like that. And I remember going to pigeon banquets as a kid where they would give out trophies and all that awards and stuff like that. Um, but I just really was never into it. I actually filled in one time for my dad. I was probably only like 10, 11 years old. And he had to work for whatever reason, second shift, I think, that day. And the race got held over because of bad weather and stuff like that. So the birds were going to come home the day he had to work. And he had me go. So I'm 1-0 because that race I actually won. The pigeon came in. I was nervous as hell. And I grabbed it. I took the band off. You stick in the clock, and then you wind the clock so it calculates the time that the pigeon was. You take the band off the leg and you put it in the clock and you turn it so it times it. It stamps it. So and then we went to the pigeon club and found out I won. And then my uncle's like, well, now you got to buy everybody a beer. And I was like, because I didn't want my dad to get mad at me. And I didn't take him seriously either because it was, I guess, something they did. Whoever won the race actually bought a round of beers. And at the time, I was too young to understand that. So I gave him kind of a hard time until finally everybody was like, no, that's what we do. So it's all right. So yeah, I clocked one race and I won it. So, but like I said, these cans were given to me by my grandfather over the years. Whenever I'd be up his house, and the pigeon club was right next door, right next to his house because he owned both sides, and they made a club out of the bottom floor of the other half of his home. So anyway, as you can see, I'm not sure if you could read the whole thing or not. It includes the picture of the teams, the roster, and one's from 1975. It's the Steelers, 1975 Super Bowl champs. Another one is the 76 Pittsburgh Steelers. It's more of a holiday can, I think, because it has some leaves and stuff on it. I'm not totally positive, but 4 of them were bottom opened, and obviously this one was open from the top. But as they bottom opened them, once they, I just liked it better with the tabs on it. So after the first time they opened the top one, I asked them the following ones not to give me some cans that actually look like a full can. We got one here that says Pittsburgh Pride, our Steelers. Got another one here. So it's the team of the decade, 1980 Pittsburgh Steelers. As you can see, there's Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw right there in the front. I think that's Matt Barr. Rocky Blyer. Mel Blount. Franco. I'm not going to name all of them, but they're all on here. There's Mean Joe. Elsie Greenwood. Dwight White. Benny Cunningham. Lynn Swan. Randy Grossman. John Stallworth. Chuck Knoll right here. So yeah. So they had all the Steelers on there. This one says Super Steelers. 1979. So I have one from 75, 76, 79, 80, and I would think this one's probably around 79 or 80 or 78, maybe 78. Doesn't have a date on it. But I would think one for each year, 75, 76, maybe 78. I don't have a 77 one, but they didn't win the Super Bowl that year either, so I don't know what style came out, because these were the only ones that I got from him. All right, I also want to show you some 1978 RC Cola. All right, so here we got 3 RC Cola cans. All 3 were Steelers. We got Terry Bradshaw in the middle, Joe Green on the left, and Jack Ham on the right side. And it gives you their positions, their teams, their height, weight, years of pro, and what college they played for. And these were distributed, or produced, I should say, by the Royal Crown Cola Company, which was a soft drink. It was a soda, like Coca-Cola, but obviously it wasn't as good as Coca-Cola. It was more like a flatter taste. But yeah, these are the 1978 RC Cola cans, and it featured the more popular players in the 70s. These are actually the only 3 football I have. I do have a couple Pirates baseball ones that maybe I'll show you later on in the year in a video. But these are all top opened, and I know y'all are waiting for me to show a card. So I'm going to show you a card. I think I got it like a couple months ago. All right, I'm going to have to pick it up. Hopefully there's not too much glare. And I can center it here, because I'm not used to that yet either. Let's see, maybe like right there. This is a Joe Green rookie card, 1971 Topps, and it's a beauty. I could not pass this up. I was searching for a high grade 7 or an 8, which go for some decent amount. And I just happened to stumble across this beautiful 5. Top centered a little bit, left to right, and top to bottom. But man, the corners, I looked at 7 and 8s that there were none even this nice. None. Flip it around. There's absolutely no real corner wear, barely any at all. It's a sharp card. It's a little more off center on the back side as far as especially left to right. But it says, Mean Joe is rapidly developing into an all-pro, as proven by the fact that he was selected as all-conference defensive tackle in 1970, his sophomore season in pro football. By the Sporting News, UPI, and others, he enjoyed a superb season on defense for the Steelers and earned a reputation as a good pass rusher and a vicious tackler. As a rookie in 1969, he more than lived up to his advanced billing. He improved as each week went by, and he seemed to play best in the tough, close games. Joe is blessed with tremendous speed and strength, and has great leadership qualities. There's a little more that goes on and on and on about him, but at Texas State, North Texas State, stuff like that. But I just had to show this card. I don't usually talk about what I spend on a card. This is a PSA Excellent 5, and it could go, I'd say, even a 7. I don't know about quite an 8, but I've seen 8s that were worse than this, to be honest. So, but I think I paid around $80. Around $80, which is a steal. 8s go for over $1,000. I was so happy when I got this and looked at it, and just it's beautiful. I can't say that enough. I always wanted this card. I had a lot of Steelers years ago that I actually sold for financial purposes when I was in a bind or a rut, but I never had this one. I'm slowly getting a lot of them back, but this one here I never had, and it's a amazing card. This probably don't even do it justice, to be honest with you. All right, that's it for today. I'll stick that right there. Has a little glare on it from the light. All right, how about we turn this camera around and wrap this thing up? And John, I just wanted you to know that your middle name and my first name aren't the only things we have in common. We're both from the state of Pennsylvania, and also we're both follically challenged, so to speak. So we got more than just the middle name and the first name. So thanks again for the shout out. Your channel name, your name goes without needing any introduction, because I'm sure there's not too many people out there that don't know who you are in this community. So I don't have to go into detail anything about your channel. Keep doing what you're doing. And that's a wrap. Thanks for coming back, for all yous that have seen my stuff before, and welcome to anyone who hasn't. I'm going to be bringing something probably once a week for now. With my busy schedule, it's kind of hard to make multiple videos per week. I work a night shift job. I have 3 kids, 3 young kids, and not a lot of time in the day, really. I get freed up to do this. So before I go, though, I'd actually like to give one more shout out before I go. This person's been an amazing person in my life. She's been by my side for almost 13 years now, and it's actually, she does the editing for my videos. She also, it's her cell phone that I'm doing these videos on, and she's given me so much support since I started making content and putting up with my frustration and everything else. And she's such a kind soul. She also has her own channel, and it's at Journaling with Jen. If you wanted to maybe check her out, or one of your wives or whoever, she does a lot of family stuff. You'll see a lot of stuff with my kids. I might be in a few as well. She hasn't made content in a while, since we both, lead a crazy lifestyle with 3 kids, and she works day shift, I work night, so it's hard to really find the time to do other things. But I just want her to know how much I am very appreciative of everything she has done for me, especially with this YouTube channel. So if you want to go sub, like, that's up to you.